Hey guys, so actually just wrapped up 2 runs this morning. I just wrapped up an easy 3-mile run right about probably, 2 hours ago probably, and then right around 30 to 45 minutes ago, probably about 45 minutes ago, I wrapped up a run with my friend and longtime teammate Anthony. Both of those were really fun runs. But to kickstart, first of all, it's an amazing day out here. I had so much fun on these runs. They were very easy runs once again. Just still trying to get ready for cross-country season. Just trying to start building that mileage more. Still trying to recover from the race from Tuesday. Again, it's only Thursday right now, so still trying to recover from that Tuesday race. But I think the recovery is going pretty good. But other than that, let's get straight into the runs from today. So I will get to both runs today. Sorry. I don't know why I put 2 hands up, but I will get to both the 3-mile run what I did with my dad and the 2-mile run I did with Anthony. But I am going to start off with the 3-mile run I did with my dad because that one came first. So I woke up, we got out at about probably 7:45 a.m. this morning. It was a comfortable run. I would say we talked a little bit. It wasn't very heavy. It wasn't very intense. My dad actually had to hold me back a little bit, which normally has to happen on these kind of runs. But basically, yeah, it was a pretty easy run. For the stats I have here, I don't have anyone here with me today. My dad's working and my friend Anthony left, so I'm going to have to give you guys the stats myself. But my stats basically were the same because me and my dad ran together and me and my friend Anthony also ran together. So basically, the stats I tell you here are the stats that I had both for my dad and Anthony for each run. So the distance for the first run today was 3.12 miles. That was the exact distance. The time was 24:19.1. The pace was 7:48 per mile. I burned 174 calories. The average heart rate was 145. The maximum heart rate was 172. Obviously, as I told you guys, the average heart rate typically comes once you get settled in around 1 to 2 miles. Probably you get your average heart rate. Your maximum heart rate probably comes right around the beginning and the end of the run when I'm getting ready to start the run, mostly at the beginning of the run, but at the end of the run sometimes it will spike a little bit too. The cadence was 192. That's pretty average for me. I'm a pretty high, I turn over pretty quickly. Ascent and descent, obviously you guys know this already. I've told you this many times. My watch is very off with the ascent and descent, but the incline was 380 feet, and the decline was 400 feet. So there's some stats for you there. For the mile splits, or the lap splits, whatever you want to call them. My watch calls it lap splits, but I call them mile splits, as everyone probably does call them mile splits. Nobody calls them really lap splits. I've never really heard anyone say that. But mile 1 was 739.88. Mile 2 was 743.49. Mile 3 was 753.86. And then that last 0.12 was 101.88. So as you guys saw right there, the mile splits did get a little bit slower every single mile. I don't really like them to get slower every single mile. I like them to get faster every single mile. But again, when you're being restrained, sometimes I will go a little bit faster. The first half of the run is a little bit more downhill than the second half. The second half is, I would say the beginning of the run is pretty much downhill. The middle half is a little more uphill, and then the last half is basically just all flat. So the beginning of the run typically is going to have, sometimes it will have the slowest mile, sometimes it will have the fastest mile, depending on how quickly I had this big hill at the beginning of the run. So depending on how quickly I had to go down that hill, and typically I go down that hill and then I turn on the brakes real quickly. Just turn on go from the jets to the brakes really quick, just pull back on them. Because you guys know, if you guys ever run down a hill, you know that it's a lot easier to run down a hill than it is to run on a flat ground, or even on an uphill, or even on a flat ground. So the downhills are definitely helpful. But yeah, so my first mile, my second mile, my third mile, each one got progressively slower. I don't really like that to happen, but some days it just happens, you know. Recovery days, sometimes that will just happen, and when you're being restrained, typically that will happen. So to recap the run, it was a pretty good run. I didn't have any problems today, which was good. I did have some problems I didn't have really any problems when I got back. It only really came when the food kind of settled in, but luckily those problems went away from yesterday, so I like that. I felt comfortable today. I like that too. My legs felt pretty good today. Again, once I warmed up into it, it felt pretty easily. for me, obviously at my paces. And yeah, so that's probably gonna do it up for this first run of today. Great run. I wish I had my dad here with me to tell you guys his stats. But my stats are basically his stats. So for any of you who want to know, well, once again, I'll go link both our Strava runs down in the description below. But other than that, that's probably going to do it up for that first run. Very enjoyable run. Love running with my dad. That's probably going to do it up for that first run of the day. And now let's move on to our second run of the day, my run with Anthony. So my run with Anthony was right around the same pace as I ran with my dad. I kind of use today as a recovery day. I always love running with teammates because it makes the run more fun, and we have some stuff to talk about because obviously we go to track almost every single day with each other. Not now, but when we do start cross country again, we will. Sorry about the noises in the background. I am right outside my house, and I live on a main road, so it's not exactly the most ideal place to film a video for you guys. But once again, these videos are pretty short, and I don't really edit them much, really at all, really. I kind of just add stuff to them, but I don't really cut the video or edit it or add anything to the clips or anything. So I kind of feel that it's okay to film out here for you guys. If you guys like these videos, just shoot me an email or a comment down in the description below, at the email below. I'd love to hear from you guys. But yeah, so sorry about the noises if they disturbed the video. But yeah, so with my friend Anthony, it's always nice to run with a teammate. I have some stuff to talk about. We talked about a few different things. We talked about the shoes that we had, some of the shoes that I've had you've never heard of, and we just talked about when we got the shoes and all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, so it was a fun run, and let's get straight into the stats. 1 second. I never have my stats prepared because my watch always turns off. I try to have my stats prepared for you guys, but my watch always turns off before I get to the stats, so that's the problem. It takes a little bit of time. So for the exact distance, 2.10 miles. The exact time was 17:54. The exact pace was 8:32. I burned 132 calories. My average heart rate was 147. Maximum heart rate was 163. If you guys notice, my heart rate went down in this run than the last run. That's because I had warmed up and my legs were pretty warm. So it shows you guys going from 0 to 100. I mean, my heart rate lowered by about 10 BPMs. My maximum heart rate lowered by about 10 BPMs. My average heart rate didn't really lower that much, but when your maximum heart rate lowers by 10 BPMs, you can tell that's the difference between being warm and being cold. And if you guys don't know what that means, I'll put it into context. Being cold means basically not doing any warm-ups and just going from a standing position to running. And then being warm is basically when you do a warm-up and you've already enlightened and raised your heart rate, and it makes it a lot easier. 1 second, my stats just went away, so I gotta get them back for you guys. But yeah, so that's the difference between doing a warm-up. So anytime you do a race or even a hard workout, make sure you do a warm-up because it will feel a lot easier. My cadence was 188. That's a little bit lower, but again, when you're running slower paces, it's going to be a little bit lower. Once again, it wasn't a slow pace, but it was a slower pace than I've run in the past, so my cadence is going to be a little bit lower because I just don't need to turn over my legs as fast. My ascent and descent, obviously, very wrong because this course was barely any hills, but the incline was about 370 feet and the decline was about 390 feet. For the mile splits, the first mile was 816.66. The second mile was 844.51. In the last last 0.10 was 53.660. So yeah, those are basically all the stats for the run today. That second run, once again, I didn't have any problems on this run. I didn't really have anything that was big on this run. We didn't talk too much on this run. I imagined myself in a few different places at the Berlin Marathon in about 40 years, breaking Kipchoge's world record. Hopefully I can do that, but you guys will, again, stay along for this journey with me for the entire time. So yeah, that's probably all I have to say for that run. Good run, felt good. Kind of a little bit of a recovery run from just a kind of a recovery run from today, and I think the run went pretty good, and yeah, I like the run today. So both runs went very good. I enjoyed running with Anthony a lot. I talked with him a little bit after. Teammates to teammate, it's fun to talk with your teammates afterward. Definitely run with someone. Yeah, I have to say, running with someone definitely helps you run better, gets better, and run faster. So, and in my case, my dad keeps me restrained. So if he wasn't there, I'd probably just go full send every single day. but definitely running with someone will definitely help. So I suggest running with someone if you guys want a running partner or were thinking about it. I would definitely get someone. Just my advice. But yeah, so I think the 2 runs went well today. No problems. So fixed yesterday. The stats were pretty good, and I enjoyed the run. You guys, that's probably gonna wrap it up for today. I have to get back inside my house because me and my sister have a intense game of Monopoly to play. Hopefully, wish me luck, guys. I hope I win. But good luck to me and my sister. But yeah, so I got to get back in there. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the MRSR Uncut series. I think this is episode 6, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so that's probably going to wrap it up for today. Love these runs today. Thanks to my dad and Anthony for running with me. And I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. You guys, that's probably going to wrap it up for today's episode of the MRSR, episode 6 of the MRSR Uncut series. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have fun. Always run. Enjoy life. Never give up on your dreams. Know that hard work always pays off in some form. And peace out, guys. See you tomorrow.